Or at 7 o'clock. Because
Have everybody.
we're supposed to be in public.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the April 2nd, 2026 meeting of the Planning Board of Dobbs Ferry. I move that we open the meeting. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
First item on the agenda is AHRB review for proposed exterior changes to the existing building, including windows, storefront, and refinishing of siding at 96 Main Street. Patty, I know we got up some updated paperwork from you that reflected what we discussed last month. Is there anything that, other than that, we need to talk about? Okay, does anybody have any questions about the project? Anybody on the board?
And we reviewed all the window sections and we had the discussion about the brick, so
Looks good.
it's all done.
I've got a 45-minute presentation I can make.
Okay.
We appreciate it, but we're gonna just move on here.
You can do it in private.
Valerie, do you want to read the resolution?
Yeah, this is for 96.
Yes.
Yes.
Whereas 96 Main Street, LLC is seeking architectural and historic review approval to make exterior renovations. The property is located at 96 Main Street. Now therefore be it resolved, the AHRB of the Village of Dobbs Ferry determines that based upon the findings and reasoning set forth below, the application for architectural and historic review approval is granted subject to the following conditions. And it specifically refers to the plan set that was prepared with today's date, April 2nd, 2026.
I make the motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
Okay, 98 Main Street is the same. Valerie, do you want to read the resolution?
Yep. So, whereas 98 Main Street LLC is seeking architectural and historic review approval to make exterior renovations. The project's located at 98 Main Street. Now therefore be it resolved, the AHRB of the Village of Dobbs Ferry determines that based upon the findings and reasoning set forth below, the application is approved, granted the subject to the following conditions, and it refers to the plan set on April 2nd, 2022.
I make the motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Patty, you're good to go.
Thank you very much.
Unless you wanted to make another presentation.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Don't encourage him, right, Alan? Don't encourage. Always a pleasure, Pat.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is a continuation of public hearing for site plan approval for additions and renovations to 311 Broadway, existing 3-story multifamily residence. I move that we open the public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Hi, good
Hi.
evening. Would you like me to pull up the drawings? Do we need?
has anything changed since our
The
last
only
meeting?
thing that has changed since the last time we were here is that we noted, there was only one outstanding, I guess I'll just introduce myself. I'm Suzanne Levine, project architect for 311 Broadway, here with our client Andrew Cortese. When we were last here, I believe we had addressed all concerns of the board and the consultants and the county, but we needed to provide a calculation for the permeable asphalt, which our civil engineer has done in our last submission. And the drawings just noted where we have permeable asphalt. I'm happy to pull it up if you
Well,
would like to see it.
is there anyone here who wants to speak to this application? No, Anthony? You reviewed those calculations. Do you feel that they resolve the issue?
Yeah, I think we're fine with the calculations. It essentially shows an equivalency to a lawn surface by doing the porous asphalt. So we're fine with that. I think that will satisfy the zoning criteria according to the building department.
Okay. Valerie, do you have anything you want to add at this time?
No, I do not.
Okay. Dan, does the building department have any concerns here?
Nope.
Okay, I know we've been through this a few times.
Yeah.
Anybody on the board have any new issues or concerns?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Now, Valerie, I see on my notes that there's a seeker negative declaration. Do we have to do anything with that?
I have a neg deck, you'll have to approve that negative declaration, but I have that approval also within the proposed resolution for 311.
Okay, so that doesn't have to be a separate step.
It does not.
Okay.
I mean, unless for some reason, Lori Lee, unless you want something separate, but I have it within the resolution piece.
No, you have the documentation in the record and the adoption of the neg deck in the resolution, so that would be sufficient.
Okay, I move that we close the public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Okay, Valerie, you have a site plan resolution?
I do. Okay. So this has a number of conditions, so we'll start off with, so whereas the 93 Washington Avenue LLC is seeking site plan approval for the construction of additions and renovations to 311 Broadway. Whereas the project is classified under the State Environmental Quality Review Act and implementing regulations is unlisted action. Whereas the planning board conducted a duly noticed public hearing on February 6th and it was concluded April 2nd, 2026. Now therefore be it resolved that the planning board in the village of Dobbs Ferry finds that the project is an unlisted action under seeker. And based upon the review of the EAF Part 1, 2, and 3 and all application materials and consultants reports that were prepared for this action, planning board adopts a negative declaration in connection with this project. And be it further resolved that the village of Dobbs Ferry determines that in accordance with section 300-40 of the village's zoning and land use chapter, the applicant must provide one affordable housing unit. Be it further resolved that the planning board of the village of Dobbs Ferry determines that based upon the findings and reasoning set forth below, the application for site plan approval is granted subject to the following conditions. It refers to the approved plans last updated March 19th, 2026. There's also specific conditions associated with prior to the signing of the final site plan. The applicant must receive all approvals from other governmental agencies, and as well as it must address to the full satisfaction of the village engineer all outstanding stormwater and stormwater maintenance agreements, engineering issues raised during the hearings. In addition, they must pay for all outstanding consultant review. Following conditions must be met prior to the issuance of building permit. And specifically, the plan proposes the reuse of existing storm and sewer pipe connections crossing the adjacent property out to Elm Street. The applicant must provide proof of permanent easements prior to the issuance of the building permit. The existing storm drain and sanitary sewer piping must be field investigated and confirmed to be in satisfactory condition and of adequate size prior to the building permit issuance. Substandard piping or piping in disrepair must be replaced or repaired to the satisfaction of the village engineer and building inspector. And supporting structural design and structural calculations for the proposed retaining wall and any required shoring must be provided for and reviewed and approved by the village engineer. The following conditions must be met before the issuance of certificate of occupancy. The affordable housing the applicant shall record a declaration of restricted covenants for the one unit. Landscaping, no, those are the other ones are normal general conditions. So good.
Okay, I make the motion. Do we? No, sorry, go ahead.
did you close the hearing?
I did.
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that there wasn't anybody that wanted to speak.
I did ask. I think.
Just want to make sure.
You can call me if I miss it.
Nope.
I make the motion. We have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
I.
Okay, and we also have an AHRB resolution.
Yeah. All right, so whereas the applicant is seeking a architectural historic review approval. Again, for 311 Broadway, now therefore be resolved, the AHRB of the village of Dobbs Ferry determines that based upon the findings and reasoning set forth below, the application is granted subject to the following conditions, and then this one also refers to the plan set dated March 19th, 2026.
Okay, I make the motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I look forward to seeing it.
Yeah, that'll be a big improvement.
Yeah.
All right, the next item on the agenda is 0 Sherman Avenue. Public hearing for site plan approval for proposed development of empty lot, including single-family residence, driveway, patio, and pool. I move that we open the public hearing. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Bye.
Okay. Okay.
Good evening.
Hi, good evening. How's everybody? Jim Anacarico with Cronin Engineering, representing Joe DiNardo, the applicant. Since the last meeting, well, we made a resubmission. I believe I received the memo from the consulting engineer. We're down to 3 minor issues that are simple to address. The planning memo stated there was some more work we had to do to show compliance with the building height and the lighting. So Joe Thompson, our architect, I'll have him deal with that in a second. We still have to provide a tree report to you. We're in the process of hiring somebody to do that, and we expect to have that in for the next deadline. If there's any questions that any of you have based on the last submission, happy to answer them.
Well, would you like to present your new material? And then we can talk about the memos and make sure that everything's clear and you know what you need to do for the next meeting.
Sure. You want to present the, you want me to present some of the engineering things that we did? I mean, it's really just technical stuff. It was mostly, we expanded on the proposed drainage system as Anthony had requested we, provide. We tidied up some other issues. We showed a pool compliant fence. We showed where the pool equipment would be located. We showed trees, all the trees that we removed. We gave you an approximate diameter breast height to be removed. I think it was like 708 inches of trees to be removed. I did visit the site prior to the meeting tonight just to get an idea. I'm not an arborist, obviously, but just to get an idea what I thought about the trees there. That I don't see any trees there that are specimen trees. There is one large pine tree in the front that we are planning to preserve. So I'd say that's probably the only tree that even the tree report will mention to be saved. I don't think any of the other trees are special at all. But it is down the west side of the property. We are not touching the majority of those trees along the property line. We are adding trees that are along the back property line and along the eastern property line. After the last meeting, the neighbor who has the pool to the east of us, we did meet with that gentleman as well as the owner, the person who's buying the property behind us. And we basically explained to them why we couldn't flip the house, why it didn't work that way. This is really the best layout for the house. It puts the garage on the first floor, close to the first floor elevation. Anything else would really require a lot of retaining walls and really not site the house properly. So we're happy to increase the landscaping that's along the eastern property line to screen his view of the house from his pool. He is 7 feet higher than us as well from the first floor of the house. So we think we've done as much as we can to provide him with a degree of screening that'll be adequate for the use of his pool.
What about the condensing units? Are they Is that what I'm looking at in this sort of the notch in the house or the setback?
Yes, there is one on that side of the house. And then there are two on the opposite side, on the west side of the house.
So Anthony, what's in your memo that needs to be resolved before we can vote on this?
Really just three minor cleanup items. Nothing, very minor stuff, should be no problem.
Okay, do you anticipate having any trouble addressing those before the next?
No, they're, like Anthony mentioned, they're just minor. We did show sumps in the drain, in the yard drains that we're providing to catch any silt so it doesn't get to the system, but Anthony just requested that we actually show it in the detail itself, so we have no problem with that. I think one of the other items was just,
Silt fence limited.
yeah, that was just, didn't go all the way around. When we added to the Coltex system, we need to adjust the silt fence and limit the disturbance slightly. And then I believe the other thing was just clarifying that the roof leaders were going to the Coltex and the footing drain would be the only thing going to the riprap outlet to daylight. So simple to address those, yes.
Thank you. Valerie, you had a planning memo?
Yeah, so there's a few things. They still need to provide additional information, I think, just to confirm the height compliance. Specifically 300-35D8 and table B7 has very specific regulations in terms of heights for residential zones. And so I provided it to them in the memo so that they can just provide documentation or demonstration that they meet those requirements next time. That would be helpful. And also because the other thing is it does require sort of contextual as well. And that I don't think has really been submitted yet from the applicant. The other thing I wanted to raise is that they're proposing to remove about 60 trees on the property. And they do have a landscaping plan, and I wanted to see if this board wanted to have the village's arborist just take a look at what it is that they're proposing in terms of replacements, to see if it makes sense and it's appropriate for what they're proposing and versus what is.
You mentioned you're still working on the landscaping?
We are working on hiring somebody to do the tree assessment, tree report. But
Okay.
we did, our landscaping plan that we submitted was prepared by Lucille Munns. She's a
Yeah.
landscape
So
architect.
somebody's working on the assessment.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I raised was that, they have some plantings that there are, I'm gonna say, groups of the same species. And
Mhm.
typically there's, they usually try to recommend some diversity amongst that, whether that's something that, Suzanne would probably raise or not. So I just didn't know if you wanted to have, specifically because so many trees are coming down and there is a pretty
Mhm.
robust landscape.
Yes.
I think because of the scale of that, it'd be a good idea to have her do a review.
Mhm.
How's the rest of the board feel?
Yeah.
That's
I
a lot of
agree.
trees. In general, do you know what kind of trees are there and how big they are? You gave the total number of inches, but most young tree.
There are, many of them are smaller, on the smaller side. There are, I mean, I couldn't tell really without the leaf, without them
Right.
being fully in bloom, but there are a bunch of pine, what look like to me, white pine. Many trees and many of the pines, the branches are 70 feet, they don't start until like 60, 70 feet up in the air. Some of them, maybe between 40 and 60 feet up in the air.
Wow.
Even the one that's up front closest to Sherman Avenue, that one I believe is like a 41-inch white pine. And, that doesn't have many branches until very high up. So from what I've seen, I don't see any sycamore trees. I don't see any, beech trees or anything like that.
But you have an arborist that's generating a report for you.
Yes,
We're
we're
going to submit.
in the process of that, correct. I mean, I guess we have no problem with that if Suzanne Nolan, I guess it's Suzanne Nolan you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
I know Lucille Munns has worked with her before on projects with myself in Irvington, so if we could just get that so we can respond to it before the next meeting, that would be great.
Mhm.
What about exterior lighting?
Yeah.
Or an
Oh,
issue
yeah, and
with
that was the other item,
Yeah.
was the exterior lighting. To provide some information, I know you provided like cut sheets, but just locations of the exterior lighting on the actual building would be helpful.
We'd be happy to do that. So Joseph Thompson, architect, we can add that to the footprint. The light fixtures we specified, you can see them in this rendering. They're pretty softly lit sconces flanking the garage door openings and the main entrance door. They're not the type of fixtures that are going to create any significant glare issues anywhere near property boundaries or even within the site. The manufacturer, Rejuvenation, is more of a designer home supplier, so they can't actually provide photometrics for these fixtures. If that's an issue, then we'll just need to switch suppliers and change and have different fixtures. I don't know if that's something we need to do for this or not, but I just don't imagine that there's going to be any issue with the intensity of the fixtures that are there.
Well, I think we do need to be assured of compliance with dark skies. That's in our code, right?
Yeah, and I mean, I think if, I would suggest maybe having them put it on the plans first. I mean, because, you know, it is possible that you don't necessarily need a photometric plan, especially if they only are adding a few handful of lights. But I've also seen site plans where sometimes all of a sudden it becomes, you know, there's a lot of lighting walking up the walkways, you know, around, right, around the backyard,
No.
the garages. And so at that point, you know, depending upon the proposed lighting plan, the board then at that point could decide if you want a photometrics.
Okay, so we
Makes
don't have a
perfect sense.
lighting plan yet.
No.
Okay.
Okay, we're happy to provide that diagram. And then if I could speak briefly to the height. So obviously we provided the information that shows we're compliant with the standard bulk requirements in this contextual analysis. And so my understanding of it is that any structures within 200 feet fit within that context zone. So that actually precludes the property to the west, but would include the property to the east. Since it's a private residence, you know, we can't just walk up and measure or trespass. But what we were able to do is scale based on, there is a listing that listed the house with 10-foot wall height. So we were able to scale a photograph of the house, and we're coming up with a ridge height of approximately 35 feet. The criteria in that code allows for a multiplier on that 35 feet, which would bring the allowable limit up above 40. We're at 33, so we're well within. So we can provide a summary of that. I don't know if that's sufficient or if we need to actually get, you know, permission from the property owner to measure. But I'm pretty sure we're accurate within a foot and it well exceeds our limit. And then the other is actually from the property boundary, where it's an analysis of the average grade between the house and the property line. So we can provide a diagram of that shows that we clear, and we'll clear that significantly. So I don't expect any impacts to the home or the height. But we're happy to provide those diagrams in a final submission.
Great, thank you.
That sounds good.
Great. We do also, I don't know if it's of interest to the board or not, brought some material samples. You know, happy to bring that up if you'd like to see them.
Yeah, it'd be
Not-
great.
Sure.
Okay. So this is the proposed stone. It'll be in a little bit more of a mosaic cut, a basic architectural shingle. It's a slate color, fiber cement, James Hardy siding, blackwood style. It's white. The windows will be black, Anderson 400 series, and then the wood product that you see on the projecting bays and rendering is actually a composite wood that's stainable. So it's fairly convincing. I could best look around the board, let you see it. It's one of the better ones that we found. That the synthetic plastic type woods that are available aren't as convincing, and it shows. But this actually takes it very well comparable to real wood, but isn't subject to any of the, you know, shrinkage issues or rot issues that, you know, real wood would have with a natural finish.
That looks good.
It's one
So-
of the nicer products we've found available on the market right now.
Is that Boral?
It's not boral. We use boral all the time for trim. That's my preferred trim material at this point, especially for field paint and finish.
So this is stainable, you would,
It's stainable.
you
Yeah.
apply
You can
that.
actually select
And
stain
then,
color.
and then once you stain it, you don't put any other finish on it, it's just whatever the stain is.
That's it. You can seal it too to protect it.
Well, that's what I was asking, yeah.
Yeah, so like matte.
Mhm.
You don't want to add any kind of sheen to it.
Right, right. And what's the durability of it?
Should last long term, the synthetic product 50+ years, like the fiber cement with oral bias composite. So,
Okay.
I don't think it's subject to degradation, moisture at all. So I would expect it to last long,
Mhm.
as long as any of the other exterior finishes.
Okay, and the exterior is clapboard?
It is, it's generally all clapboard around the whole perimeter, except for this wood trim element, the projecting bay, and we do switch to a vertical board and batten up in the cables, just for an accent. Where it's projecting out bracketed, otherwise all clapboard, stone base.
Mhm.
Nice.
And the color of the clapboard, that is,
Is the,
That's the
card
white.
Is that the white?
Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. With black windows for strong contrast.
It's nice.
Thank you.
I think it's good.
okay, Valerie, we covered the big issues on your memo?
Yeah.
Okay, are there any issues on the planning memo that you guys can address prior to the next meeting? You have any questions about what she's asking for?
I think everything is addressable
Okay.
prior to the next meeting.
I mean, we can always continue the meeting if we have to, but we try and
Right.
at least send you home with your homework and, we know what's has to
Absolutely.
happen
Right.
prior to voting.
Right.
Okay.
And we can get the proposed replanting plan over to our arborist as soon as possible, so we can get comments back in time.
Yes, that'd be fantastic if we could get that in as well.
Although I don't think Suzanne can review it until you get your arborist report. She's going to want to see that as well. So I don't know
Oh,
what
she'll
your
review.
timeframe is on that.
Right.
But,
Okay.
Not just-
I guess so. Two separate things there. She's going to review our arborist report, tree report, and also the landscaping plan.
I believe that's what we've done in the past. And
We have done that. in the
Okay.
past, so that's-
Okay.
I think considering the scale of the tree removal, we just want to make sure that we understand what's going on.
Understood. But I guess she could maybe review our landscaping plan as it is now, and if there's things that needed to be added after she, receives the tree report, we'd be happy to do that, address that.
Sure, I mean, we can start sending her the stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dan, is there anything you'd like to say or any
No,
concerns? that you'd
just
like to make
the
sure
trees, the height and the lighting.
Okay. Members of the board, comments, concerns?
We're good?
Okay. Well, then I move that we continue this public hearing to the would anybody like to speak to this application? Sorry.
Mr.
I just
Carr's
got lectured
attorney is
about.
here, yeah.
Thought you could get through this application quickly. No, I won't be long. Good evening, Chairman and members of the Planning Board. My name is Kristen Wilson from the law firm of Marks, D. Palmero and Wilson. I'm here tonight representing the two neighbors that were referenced by the applicant, the property owner to the east, the Karev family, and then the, I would say, contract vendee of the property behind the proposed lot. So the two most impacted neighbors. The applicant has been very gracious and has met with both of my clients a couple times, it sounds like, out at the site. A lot of the concerns have been mitigated to really probably the maximum extent they can be, given the topography. The two issues that are still, I'll say that they're outstanding just because we don't have the information yet, is certainly interested in reviewing whatever the landscape architect comes back with in terms of the tree plantings. The screening is very robust. We thank the applicant for doing that, but nonetheless, we want to ensure that there's diversity amongst the species and that the trees that are planted are ones that will grow quickly to provide some screening. The other issue is really dust mitigation. The property to the east does have a pool in their backyard. The applicant has agreed to put up a higher temporary construction fence, if you will, to help with that dust mitigation and maybe some of the sound during the construction period. But otherwise, we're very happy with how the application has come along. So thank you.
Okay, so the landscape plan and the additional documentation is going to be posted, on the website as soon as we get it, right? So you'll be able to review that with your clients as soon as that comes to us.
Thank you.
Okay, and as far as the high, erosion control, and dust control fence, that's something that you'll review as part of your inspection.
Well,
process.
they're gonna put it on the plan like that? That would be
Yeah, we haven't added that yet, but
what they're proposing, what height and everything.
we can add a dust screen fence, correct? Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Anyone else like to speak to this application? Okay, and I move that we continue this public hearing to the next meeting. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
I,
All right, we'll see you next month.
Thank you very much.
thank you.
And that meeting is what, May
May
3rd?
7th.
May
May
7th.
2nd also?
7th.
May
7th.
7th, okay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
All right, the next item on the agenda is 19 Livingston Avenue, which is adjourned until the May 7th, 2026 meeting. After that, we have 21 Summit Terrace, pre-submission conference for site plan approval for proposed deck at the rear of the house. We have someone to present this. Welcome. Please tell us who you are and where you live.
Sure. Good, thank you. Good evening. My name is Michael McGarvey. I'm a licensed engineer, and I'm here tonight representing 21 Summit Terrace for a rear deck. It's at the back of the house. It's a small deck. It's on grade, basically. It's within within a couple of feet of grade. It's I can't even believe I'm here actually for this deck. It's nothing. It's in a replacement deck, by the way. So hold on, that's the wrong one. Is that 21 Summit? Oh, Shady. Okay, yeah, that's the wrong one. That's Shady Lane. There you go. Okay, so this one, it's tough to see, but it's, I appreciate the building department let me use an older version of this, but I imagine once, if this does get approved, the board or the building department will require an updated survey. But because basically it's a replacement of an existing deck. Again, it's about 1 foot to 2 feet above grade. How do I move it to the second page? I don't want to screw up your.
Dan, and our threshold criteria for triggering this was,
The length of it, 10 foot out. But, the building department would be all right. We're waiving the site plan on this one. And just look at the AHRB on it.
So the material is wood.
It's all pressure treated wood, absolutely. It's treated as if it was a regular deck. It's on concrete piers with Tico connectors and Simpson ties for the deck to the girder.
And what about the railings?
The railings, they're going to be wood as well. Pressure treated. There's conforming with the building department, with the building.
Painted, stained.
Oh, are we gonna stain these railings or the
Okay.
stain to match the house? Thank you.
Sounds good.
I'm good.
Do we have any concerns
No,
from the
yeah.
engineering or planning,
No concerns.
building department? Any issues with this?
No, just, that you could put on the drawing that's gonna be stained to match the house.
Members of the board? Any comments or concerns? It's good.
I think it's fine.
Okay, I'm comfortable with waiving site plan approval for this. The rest of the board is?
Yes,
I am
we're
too.
nodding yes.
Yes.
I move that we waive site plan approval. Do we have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
I,
Okay, 100%.
Thank you all.
And now we have an AHRB resolution.
Yes. Whereas the applicant is seeking to construct a ground level deck at the rear of the house. The project is located at 21 Summit Terrace. Now therefore be it resolved, the Architecture and Historic Review Board of the Village of Dobbs Ferry determines that based upon the findings and reasoning set forth below, the application is approved, granted subject to the following conditions, and it refers to the plan set dated October 16th, 2025.
I make the motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I think I stay here.
Okay. You have another project?
Yes, hopefully it's next. 56 Shady.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the next item on the agenda is 56 Shady Lane, a pre-submission conference for site plan approval for proposed deck.
Building department would recommend the same on this one also.
Okay.
Same construction, pressure treated wood.
Yes, it is. This one, there's the existing deck there. Can you change this, please? An existing deck on the side of the property. It extends past the limited or the setback line for a deck. So it's 10 feet for the setback on the side of the house for this area, 56 Shady. Where he was about, or she's about maybe 13 feet. So we're cutting it back to the 10 feet. So it's in conformance with the regulations. And we're taking it, and unfortunately, that would leave the deck very, very small. So what we do is we can take the deck and we're gonna bring it down the back or the right-hand side of the house towards the rear. We're not gonna obviously all the way to the rear because we have a setback on the rear as well. So, I mean, you can see in the bottom right picture that we're gonna come back with the deck and the staircase is gonna come down and almost to the back of the house itself. And that's it. There's no standing on this one. It's just gonna be a natural deck.
If it's
And
gonna be pressure treated, it would
Oh,
have,
pressure treated, absolutely. Oh, I mean,
would have to be
it has to be
stained.
pressure treated. Huh?
it would have to be stained to meet code.
For pressure treated?
Yep. It's in our code.
Oh, your code?
Yeah.
Okay. They meant the state code. Okay, all right, so let's put that down. I'll put that on as well. We'll state it to, what, to pick a color now?
And the color, no, but put it on the plan. It'd have to
Okay.
be a stain.
Be stained? Okay, fine.
So Valerie, can we add that to the resolution?
To stained.
Yes.
Or are we waiting?
Well, we're talking about waiving site plan, but we still have the AHRB. Okay.
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay, Anthony, any issues with you?
No issues.
Okay. Valerie,
Nope.
building department, you already said. We can
Just,
waive that, okay, site plan. Okay, anybody from the board have questions, concerns?
Nope.
No, I think it looks good.
So I move that we waive site plan approval for this project. We have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, is that where you want to do the resolution?
Yes, whereas the applicant is seeking architectural and historic review approval to construct a deck. The property is located at 56 Shady Lane. Now therefore be resolved, the AHRB, Village of Dobbs Ferry, determines that the AHRB approval is granted subject to the following conditions, and it refers to the plan set plan set dated October 15th, 2025. And the second condition is the deck will be stained.
I make the motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Thank
Happy
you.
Easter.
You too.
The next item on the agenda is 104 Northfield Avenue, pre-submission conference for site plan approval for proposed exterior renovations, including legalization of existing retaining wall and patio replacement. Do we have anyone to speak to this application?
Nobody online? Okay.
Sorry, there is someone online? Okay.
Hello,
Hello?
can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Good evening. My name is Carlos Sosa Striver. I don't know if I can share my screen or you will share your screen with me.
You could share.
Okay. Mm. Okay. We propose new retaining wall. Is maximum height is 3'10", and we sun stair here. The retaining wall, the color will be gray, and the stair will be the same material. All the existing stone patio we will replace with paver patio. The color will be cold. Here is the color in this area. I don't know if you can see. And the step, it will be the same material. And also we provide new fence 6 foot high in the rear and side from this corner to this corner here until the end of the retaining wall. And the color is in PVC and the color will be white. Looks like that. The fence will look like that. I don't know if you have some question.
My notes here say that, Valerie, you have some, well, I'll start with Anthony. Anthony, you have some open issues on this project?
We didn't do a memo, but because I really just had a couple of questions. I guess because the wall is kind of on the plan, the wall is listed as an existing wall, but I guess for this application, it really should be called out as a proposed wall because we're legalizing a wall that was,
Yeah,
I
this
guess
is
there was a stop work order.
Yeah, I don't know if you see here in this area, existing concrete wall, retaining wall to be legalized.
Okay,
It's
so
in
you
the plan.
should have your existing plan condition on this set of plans should start without the wall.
No.
And show it as like a new wall. If it's under 4 feet high or 5 feet high, I forget, a threshold, usually I go with 4 feet high. You don't need engineering calculations for the wall. It's really just a landscape feature. But that's fine. If there was fill placed on the site and grading changes, you should indicate that on the plan.
The only grade will change is when you dig here, they have a lot of soil remain and this is maybe they clean it up or no, we will not fill anything over there. We will not fill just the soil coming from the footings. We will add inside here and that's it.
Okay, but I'm presuming there's some grading change behind the wall.
Yeah, you can see here, I don't know, if the section, you can see in the section.
Okay,
Yeah, this is the soil here, we say compact soil in this area.
okay.
Yeah.
So you should you should specify somewhere on the drawing that there's then a zero net cut and fill to the property. You're using you use the existing cut
Okay.
excavation materials to fill behind the wall.
Okay, so,
Okay, and it looked like there was an increase in impervious area of about 104 square feet. Usually at about our cutoff is about 100 to provide dry wells, but in this case, I would say, because there's gravel behind the wall,
yes, sir.
that'll kind of act as a, almost like an infiltration system, and would make up for that, I would think. So,
And
I'd
we
be
pro-
okay with not
yeah.
providing a dry well for this work.
We
We
provide
agree.
with
Dan, can we
with
do that?
pole,
Yep.
we have a with poles in the retaining wall that
Right.
they can help that to
Many
drain.
weak poles.
Yeah,
Right, right. So, yeah, I think the increase is inconsequential, to the property. And so I would just, make those changes to the drawing and just show, standard sediment and erosion controls
okay,
on the drawing, like silt fence and so forth.
okay, sir.
And that's all we would really have on this.
Sure. Yeah, I have a comment or a question. I don't understand. Maybe this is what Anthony's getting to. If I'm looking on the sheets that you submitted, I'm looking at sheet number 4. It's a color diagram that shows various levels of steepness.
Yeah, this is the slope calculation.
Right.
We
So-
think I think it is not required, but we provide that.
But what I don't understand though is if someone's building a retaining wall, then I would expect the topo lines to resolve into it in some way, right? In other words, either you're making it, right, the purpose of the retaining wall, isn't it to sort of create a somewhat level area
Yeah, I understand your
between
question.
the wall and the house?
Yeah.
But it's shown, you just have the retaining wall just kind of cuts across the existing grades and shows the existing grades not changed, and I don't see what,
Looks like it was on a previous
Like-
topo.
You should show the various slopes on the existing
And the existing
topo
condition.
only.
Yeah.
And there should be a proposed condition where those red areas behind the wall would then go away.
right, that's what I
Have
mean,
different
like,
Grading there.
it's, there's some
That is-
regrading that presumably takes
right,
place
right.
around this wall, and that has to meet your neighbors on each side. So I think that has to be, I think you have to redo the topo. And I don't know if doing 2-foot intervals, is that what we require? Or I don't know if that will show, or if it needs to be tighter than that. But in any case, the topography that's shown straddling this wall somehow would be resolved differently.
Yeah,
And
we
also
will-
then,
we
and then
will
has to
add
meet
it-
the neighbor's grade.
We will propose in the proposed plan, I will show the new grade level. I will show
Okay,
that. Okay,
You're looking for the before and after topos.
Right.
yeah, because this can't be,
No, this is a before.
Yeah.
With the wall, before. Yeah, and the wall stuck there, which isn't, doesn't really represent what's going on now, I don't think.
I have to go see it. But in any case, so I think, but I guess Anthony, that's what you were kind of saying also,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I mean, he's got to assign an elevation to the top of the wall,
Right.
yeah,
which may be like 169 or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then just show proposed grading and just leave the slope classifications to an existing condition plan.
Right.
And he's got little returns on the end, so he should be able to like resolve that.
Before
without
it goes to the
affecting
property
neighbors.
adjacent, yeah.
That's
No,
right.
no, I'm sure it's
yeah.
doable. I'm sure it's
Right,
completely
right.
doable. It's
And I
just not
think it's-
represented.
Yeah, and it's there now, I guess, so.
Good.
Right, Valerie, you had some issues?
So, similar to what Anthony raised, I mean, I think we highlighted very similar comments on just information that was missing dealing with the excavation and the topography. But I do want to talk to the board, and so I don't think those need to be repeated, but I do want to talk to the board about process. So if this board decides that this needs site plan approval, then this particular project would be an unlisted action under seeker, which the applicant filled out an EAF, which had a number of incorrect information on it. So that would need to be corrected. In addition, if this board decides that it needs site plan approval, then this also requires a county board referral because it's within 500 feet of the Sawmill Parkway. If for some reason this board feels that this will stay in pre-submission conference and then ultimately just get AHRB approval and just waive the site plan approval, then these comments, the applicant does not have to address, because at that point, there's not necessarily seeker that would be undertaken. So I need to kind of get a sense of where you kind of line up with the site plan approval or not site plan approval, because we need to direct the applicant to do one thing or another.
But how do we resolve, I mean, I'm all for waiving it, except how do we resolve that with our requests related to
I mean,
the
you could keep them in
topography?
pre-submission conference and then,
Mhm.
then get all the documents as you see fit, and then we can do AHRB approval.
Mhm.
at that
Okay.
point.
Cause I don't want to torture him with.
You could just leave it in pre-submission, right? Yeah.
And the only reason why raise that is because there is a lot more of, I'm gonna say, administrative paperwork for this particular project that I think is probably necessary. It'd be different if for some reason the retaining walls were gonna be very extensive, a lot of cut,
Okay,
but
right.
I think based on my conversations with
Yeah.
Anthony and stuff, it's not gonna be as
Not
major.
worth
And
it.
and those
Okay.
items we would review anyway,
Right.
whether
Okay.
it's site plan or not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because if the board wants to consider this under the site plan provisions, you'd have to schedule the public hearing, so you can,
If there's a way around that.
yeah.
Sounds
Yeah,
like
what I'm
that
saying is
adjacent
if
to the
it, when
Turing
the,
Estate and other parklands.
Right, so technically, because in the
Yeah, they have
in
this
the
thing.
environmental assessment form, it is in close proximity and it automatically
Yeah,
updates
right.
that. And so again, it's
Like
one of
your-
those things that if you actually look at where the location of it, I don't think it's going to affect it,
Yeah.
but because of its location and the way the environmental assessment forms
Right.
automatically populate, those things start getting triggered.
Were the neighbors noticed on this project?
Say again?
Were the neighbors noticed?
You should, but
Yeah.
Well, they sign an affidavit saying they noticed. the
Yeah.
neighbors.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah, because you haven't published a legal notice, because it isn't a public hearing, so it's,
Okay.
there's a little
No,
different.
but as long as everybody's been informed this is going on and, you know,
Mhm.
allow
Yeah.
them to speak,
But it borders the park on the Sawmill River Parkway, so does the parkway get noticed? I mean, how does that work?
well, yeah, if we're gonna go to site plan, they do get
They do.
involved, right?
But if we waive the site plan,
Right.
then
Yeah,
So,
you just have to determine sort of today, if you think you'd likely waive it. If not, then it might make sense to put this on for public hearing and waive it at that point, but I don't know if you have enough information at this
Yeah,
point.
maybe I pre-sub another meeting and see the information.
if we can get, if we can get the rest of the information we're looking for in
Right.
submission, then maybe we can make a more educated decision about whether site plan is appropriate.
Agreed.
I agree.
It would just extend, if you find it's appropriate, it would extend it an
Right,
additional
you
meeting.
pay a 1 month penalty or whatever in
Right.
time,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So do they know what they need to do?
Okay, so are you clear on what you'd have to bring back next month?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and if you have questions, you can certainly contact Valerie and Anthony in the building department about
Okay, thank you so much. Thank
what
you.
needs to happen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll see you next month then.
Happy Easter. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're gonna put this back on for next.
For pre-submission, right?
Got it.
Freeze up next month.
Sweet,
Okay.
sweet revenge.
Javier.
Nice to see you
Good to see
again.
you.
Good to see everybody. Javier De La Garza. De La Garza Architecture, also resident of 8 Park Hill Terrace. So this is my backyard here. I didn't bring my team of attorneys and engineers. Forgive that.
You don't have to recuse yourself.
Let's see how to work this here. So I do have a few photos I'd like to share that I think would be helpful in understanding the magnitude of this proposal. This is a rear yard addition. Here's the front of the house. It slopes somewhat from the back, so left corner as you're looking at the house to the front. So this is looking at from the low point of the house. Again, looking at this side. So you see as you come around the side, there's a side door, the garage, and then it steps, you're starting to see the backyard and the deck there. This is looking from the back. You can see basically the addition is up here on the top right. So it's basically a bedroom extension. And that small window there is the bathroom. We'd be putting another bathroom up against that and scaling back the deck a little bit to the left. So this is looking at the one tree that would come down. This little flag here on the right is kind of indicating the extent. We're coming right to the rear property line. We already gained a variance for the side yard, which is 9 feet on this side here. At about the stone wall there, we need 12. So basically that was a variance granted to allow us to continue the nonconformity, excuse me, nonconformity there. You can see the stockade fence from the neighbor, so they're really not going to be able to see much on the side. This is looking down the side yard. So sort of at the back corner of the property, looking down, and you can see it slopes away this way. My dog. We're basically this window here also for this middle bedroom that's an interior element, but it's not a conforming egress window, so we're making that, a little lower and ending the brick, about in the middle of that window and just changing over to siding. So there's a view down the other way. You can see that basically that's unobstructed that way. There's a little movie.
Where's the dog?
She got a treat and went away. There's a fence. You're going to see the rear neighbor who has no objection on the back. He's looking basically up higher, and that's the side of that. And there's the other neighbor, which is much lower. So would be able to glance, from, I guess, this bedroom window over at it. All right, and then, so I'll just go over the plans quickly. So to start here on the survey, this is an older survey, but still accurate. There was a pre-existing deck. This is, I'm sure you've seen this. This is basically the side yard, front and rear yards. The addition is really right here. It's this shaded area. So there's the unfortunate tree that we're going to have to remove. The topography you can see there is, and over here. All right, there's the sky exposure plane, so we're not in conflict with those. These are demolition plan, some interior reconfiguration here to make this small middle bedroom a little bigger. And then the what's currently our master bedroom would be extending out there. So you can see here, it basically bumps out and new little suite. There's the framing. These are the views that you saw, the elevations. So this is basically a little massing study of the rear addition. So we did get the letter about the drainage, which is a little challenging because this all slopes uphill, so we're, we're going to find a I suppose the drywaller will make a call over to Anthony to resolve how we can best drain this. We can tie it to the existing gutters and leaders. That's part of why this is a hip here. So basically, we're not trying to drain to this side. We can bring it all around to the other side.
I have one question. Are you done?
Yes.
Yeah. Because obviously it's very, very straightforward, but the question I have is on on these massing renderings. On the one on the left, it shows these retaining walls.
Those are existing.
Those are existing
Yep,
walls.
stone walls, yeah.
Okay, and it would be good, I didn't see anywhere just a kind of overall site plan. Is there one that just shows the house, the walls?
There's this one here.
That's not really a site plan, right?
Oh. Both side plan.
Something that would just show the house, the landscaping in relationship to the walls.
Yeah, it doesn't
and-
show these walls.
And
right
with
here.
the neighbors, building footprints, so on.
Right.
I don't know, I just feel like I'm sure it's not gonna make a difference, but this just surprised me to not see just an overall illustrative plan of
Okay.
the house, the driveways, the walls, all of it on one drawing. Should be trivial, right, to create that.
Yeah.
So Javier, if we call for a public meeting for next month, can you address Anthony's concerns in the engineering memo and
Updates.
Rob's concerns
Provide a
about the
site
site plan?
Sure.
Good.
Okay, Valerie, do you have any issues?
I did not.
Okay, building department?
Nope.
Stan, members of the board?
No, looks good.
I'm
Okay,
good, thank you.
so, I move that we call for a public hearing for the next meeting. Do I have a second?
Second,
All in favor?
right?
Right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure.
Nice to see
Good
you.
to see you, Javier.
You guys move quick.
You know how easy we are.
Yeah, I think he was in some of those 5-hour meetings with us. All right, anybody have any other issues they'd like to discuss before we adjourn? Okay, I move we adjourn. Wait a second.
Second.